The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
I'm Alan Combs. Welcome back to our microphones. Larry Klayman, founder of Judicial Watch and now Freedom Watch. Larry, how you been?
Good, Alan. How you been?
Thanks for coming back on the program. Now, your latest effort is to deport a person you call the African-American Muslim in chief. So could you explain that, please?
Alan, first of all, he's very proud of coming from Kenya. He jokes about it. I remember going to a White House Correspondents' Dinner where he said that his popularity was becoming very low in this country. You may have been there, but it was still popular in his native country. And he was telling the truth.
A native country would be Hawaii, right?
Kenya. No, well, if you want to call Hawaii a country...
I mean, native state would be Hawaii, but native...
They do have nice coconuts and palm trees. And unfortunately, it's the most corrupt state in the country.
Well,
and he's never come forward, Alan, with a original birth certificate that shows that it wasn't doctored, and that's in our complaint.
But Larry, you know, we could go do the birther thing on a number of levels here. First of all, this has been pretty much adjudicated in terms of 2 birth certificates, 2 newspapers in Hawaii weeks after his birth making the announcement. And how about the fact that his mother was American, which automatically would make him an American citizen, having an American mother, right?
Excellent questions, my good friend. Okay, first of all, it's never been adjudicated. So this deportation...
Well, not adjudicated in the courts, but okay, go ahead.
At freedomwatchusa.org, freedomwatchusa.org, is an attempt to adjudicate it. We're asking the Department of Homeland Security, its immigration authorities, to make that determination, and we submitted a mountain of evidence. Secondly, with regard to publishing things in newspapers, that was a common practice in Hawaii for people that wanted to set their kids up to be permanent residents or citizens.
So they phoned it in from Kenya newspapers.
Why not? We got Ebola from Liberia. Why can't we have that phoned in from Kenya? So
I see. So phoning in a birth to 2 Hawaii newspapers is akin to Ebola coming to the United States from Liberia.
You're playing with me on the point.
No, that's what you said. I just was repeating what you said.
You don't have to phone it in from Kenya. You can have somebody there.
Okay.
And let me explain to you what the definition of natural-born citizen is, which would make you eligible to be president. It's different than what's in the rest of the Constitution with the word citizen, separate and apart for the president and vice president. It's been defined by a case called Minor versus Happersett in the late 1800s, Supreme Court case, as well as the codification of Emmerich Patel, Law of Nations, that you have to be born to 2 citizen parents in the United States, 2 citizen parents in the United States. So you're not eligible to be president. I'll say this. You know, I like Ted Cruz, okay? I think he might be a good presidential candidate. But he doesn't qualify either, and neither does Marco Rubio. And the reason that the framers put that in the Constitution is because they wanted the president at least one step removed from foreign influence. And you can see with Barack Obama that he does have foreign influence. He does seem to have an affinity more with his Muslim roots and his African roots.
Well, you say that, but
with his American.
By the way, if he were a Muslim, which we could debate or not, but let's say he was, so what?
Well, the point is this. It's not whether he's a Muslim or not. Surely there are good Muslims in the world.
Well, you call him a Muslim in chief, so obviously you want to make...
Don't speak out on what's happening. But the reality is this, is that every step of the way, Alan, and we said this before, you're Jewish, I was born Jewish, you know, he's done everything he can to harm Israel. He looks the other way when our military goes into battle. They're not allowed to fire on the enemy first for fear they might kill a Muslim civilian. They said it's better that our military gets killed. I represent the families of Navy SEAL families who perished in a helicopter crash called Extortion 17. They couldn't defend themselves. Some of these people went on the mission that killed bin Laden. This president will not risk a Muslim life for an American life. And with regard to Africa, look at this Ebola thing. Let's bring that out. Do you think that if this president wasn't from Africa, he'd be letting people in from Africa?
Larry Klayman is our guest. Freedom Watch is his organization. He is now efforting to deport President Obama. We'll get a little bit more on that when we get back with Larry Klayman. Larry Klayman is with us of former Judicial Watch, now Freedom Watch, and Anthony Fauci of their Center for Infectious Diseases coming up on the program. Larry, I want to quote the Daily Caller, not exactly a liberal publication, Tucker Carlson's Daily Caller, who says that they talk about you can't quit your years-long, their words, increasingly bizarre quest to demonstrate that President Obama is not a natural-born citizen under Article 2 of the United States Constitution. Do you understand why people might see this as bizarre? And these are conservatives saying this.
Now, let me tell you what happens. You know the game, Alan. Okay, I like Tucker. Okay, he's kind of a friend. Okay, but what happens is these conservative publications, sometimes that are, more in the center, try to look moderate, and they try to become socially acceptable. This has been a throwaway issue for Republicans and conservatives to make them look like they're magnanimous.
Well, they can't win on birth or something. They can't win.
That's what Tucker's doing here.
Okay.
And frankly, I found the article helpful. It gets the issue out there. I didn't take offense to it.
All right, now, Larry, the notion that somehow between now and the short time, relatively, he's got left as president, that he will somehow be deported, that's not going to happen, right?
Well, it should happen, Alan. And a lot of the things that happen, let me tell you something. If the Department of Homeland Security does not act on this, I file a petition for writ of mandamus to force action. It's time that somebody looked at this. Supreme Court doesn't want to look at it. The courts don't want to look at it. What's the harm in looking at it? I'll tell you what the harm is, because anybody who challenges this president is branded a racist against blacks, and people get scared of that. You know what? I'm sick and tired of it. I'm not scared to speak out.
There's nothing wrong with challenging the president.
To tell her like it is, because I'm sick of this president. Well, he's destroying this country. I believe he's evil, plain and simple.
He's evil?
This audience. He's evil.
How is he evil?
He's evil because he's destroying this country. He doesn't give a darn about it. He'd rather be in the golf course. Even Piers Morgan of CNN, who's the left of you, Alan.
No, he's not. Just on guns.
I don't hold that against you. You're entitled to your beliefs. But even Piers Morgan ripped into him last night.
Well, he may be conservative.
On Hannity's show.
Yeah, but he's other than guns, he may be conservative. Look, to call the president evil, you can disagree with his policies. You can think he's taking the country in the wrong direction. But to impute him with some kind of evil intent? Really?
He does have evil intent. He does have evil intent, because what he's doing is he's doing exactly to people other than his own people what he didn't want to happen to his people. That is evil, okay? It was evil when the Ku Klux Klan did it. It was evil when J. Edgar Hoover...
Are you comparing Obama to the KKK?
It's evil that he's trying to destroy Christians, Jews, and whites.
Are you comparing Obama to the KKK?
I am. Every action that he takes, we don't have enough time on this show, seems to be based on his race and on the religion that he gravitates to, which is Islam. And what we have in the Middle East right now is a huge threat to this country, and he looked the other way because he didn't want to kill his Muslim brothers en masse. We got somebody in this office who is destroying this country, and someone needs to say it straight up. I love Fox News. You do too. Without them, frankly, there'd be no other side of the story here. But the commentators that are very careful just to say he's incompetent, he doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, he's competent. He's highly smart, Obama.
Can you give me one example of how he's comparable?
He's furthering racism in this country. He's dividing white.
Can you be more specific about how
Muslim caliphate?
Can you give me more specifics on how he's furthering racism or somehow comparable to the KKK? Can you give me a specific on that?
In this country, listen. This guy in this police officer in Ferguson, Missouri,
Darren Wilson.
Whether he did it or not, whether he,
right,
committed a criminal act by killing that kid, he essentially was lynched by Attorney General Holder and everybody else.
Lynched? How was he lynched by Holder?
Holder flew out there personally to start a grand jury investigation. You know what? Did he fly to Philadelphia to start one when 6 white cops were killed by blacks?
How does that make Obama...
And in lots of instances around the country. Did he do that?
How does that make Obama akin to the KKK or somehow warrant the accusation that he's a racist who wants to destroy America?
Well, because Obama and Holder want this guy's head on a stake. They want him to pay the price, just like they wanted Zimmerman to pay the price for years of past discrimination. I know we know Zimmerman was innocent. The jury found him innocent. But and this cop, it would appear that, from what I've read, he doesn't look like he's guilty. And the grand jury out there, the state grand jury, is so far refusing to indict him. But that's not enough. We've got to have Whitey's head on a stake.
Larry, I think what you're doing, you're a brilliant self-promoter. The fact that you're talking about deporting the president and making these very profound, extreme statements gets you a lot of press, a lot of attention. and I appreciate you coming on this show. But
Well,
but
only
you know
works with you.
that the chances of actually deporting him are minimal. You know that's not going to happen.
You know, Alan, look, I'm old enough. I don't need the press anymore. Maybe when I was just starting, that was something that, got me ginned up. Okay, I don't need the press anymore. I want results. You got a hearing on the NSA case on November 4th. I hope you can come. But you know what? I get frustrated, as many Americans do, because the Republican Party rolls over. Benjamin Netanyahu rolls over to Obama, and everybody rolls over to him. And why do they roll over to him? Because he's president of the United States, but domestically they roll over to him because anytime he's criticized in a severe way, we're racist.
Who would you like to see be president?
I can't think of anybody right now. Hopefully someone will emerge by the grace of God.
Nobody ran.
Let me tell you, I actually think, and my supporters are probably not going to like this, I think Jeb Bush would be a good president.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.